My dear brothers and sisters, today I want to talk about a topic that touches every heart, a topic that every person, young or old, fears and yet hopes for: the swift healing of disease. Imagine for a moment that the sickness that has burdened your body, that has weighed heavily upon your spirit, could vanish in a single second. How wonderful would that be? How freeing would it feel? The reality is that true healing does not always come from what we see or touch. Our world has given us medicine, science, and technology, which are blessings from Allah, and we must never forget to seek their help. Yet, there is a power far greater than all these remedies combined. There is a power that can heal a heart that feels broken, a body that feels weak, and a mind that feels lost in an instant. That power is faith. That power is the mercy of our Creator. And sisters, disease is not always just physical. It can be emotional, spiritual, or psychological. It can weigh down our hearts, cloud our minds, and drain our energy. But understand this: Allah is the ultimate healer. He has promised relief to those who call upon Him sincerely. He has promised that when we turn to Him, He listens, and when we ask, He responds. Healing can come in the blink of an eye if our hearts are open, if our faith is strong, and if our trust in Him is unwavering. Sometimes we are so focused on our suffering that we forget the cure that is closest to us. We forget to pray, to ask, to seek the help of the one who knows what is hidden, who knows what is in our hearts, who knows the depth of our pain. We forget that our tongue, our heart, and our hands are instruments of change when we use them in remembrance of Allah. A heartfelt prayer, a sincere plea, can move mountains. It can change circumstances. It can restore life where there seems to be only decay. My dear friends, I want you to understand this clearly. Healing in a second is possible, but it requires three things from us: awareness, patience, and trust. Awareness that we are in the hands of a merciful Creator, patience to endure the trials that may come, and trust that even when we do not see the results immediately, the outcome is in the best hands. Do not be deceived into thinking that prayer is only words. It is action. It is hope. It is an invitation to the one who has the power to remove disease faster than our minds can comprehend. You may ask, how do I attain this healing? The answer is simple yet profound. Turn to Allah with sincerity. Pray for your health, not only for your body, but for your soul. Recite His words, for His words carry power. Ask Him for protection from every illness that seeks to disturb your peace. Remember Him in every heartbeat. And when you do this, do so with conviction, knowing that He listens and that nothing is too small or too big for Him to change in a second. Brothers and sisters, do not wait until you are desperate. Do not wait until your illness has taken root or until your heart is heavy with worry. Begin now. Begin with gratitude for the health you have. Begin with hope for the health you desire. Begin with prayer for the healing that only Allah can provide. Remember, in His wisdom, He sometimes delays healing to teach patience, to strengthen faith, and to remind us of our dependence on Him. But the moment you surrender your fears, the moment you place your trust fully in Him, healing can manifest in ways you cannot even imagine. Finally, understand that healing is not only about the body, it is about the heart, the mind, and the soul. True wellness comes when your heart is free from anxiety, your mind is free from despair, and your spirit is free from doubt. Pray for all these aspects, for Allah's mercy encompasses every part of your being. And never underestimate the power of a sincere prayer uttered with complete faith. It can bring relief in a second, even when the world sees no change. True healing comes from faith and trust in Allah, And this is a principle that has been proven throughout history and in every human experience. Many of us think of healing only in terms of medicine, surgery, or physical remedies. And while these are important and indeed blessings from Allah, they are not the ultimate source of recovery. True healing originates from a power far beyond human capability, a power that listens, responds, and acts in ways that are perfect and precise. Faith in Allah is that bridge which connects us to this divine power. It is faith that allows us to surrender our worries, our fears, and our desperation into the hands of the most merciful. When we truly trust in Him, we acknowledge that no disease, no matter how severe or persistent, is beyond His control. And this acknowledgement itself is the beginning of profound healing. Faith is not simply a passive belief. It is active, conscious, and persistent. It requires us to remind ourselves that Allah's wisdom surpasses our understanding. We may not always comprehend why a particular illness has occurred, why certain trials have come upon us, or why relief seems delayed, but with unwavering faith, we accept that there is a divine plan, and within this plan lies our healing. Trusting Allah means believing that He knows the perfect time for everything, including recovery. It is a mindset that replaces doubt and fear with hope and serenity. This trust transforms the way we approach sickness. We no longer live in anxiety or despair, but in patience, in reliance on the One who is capable of removing any affliction in an instant. The connection between faith and healing is also deeply spiritual. When a person is afflicted with illness, it is not only the body that suffers, but often the soul too. Anxiety, fear, and despair weigh heavily on the heart. Faith in Allah brings peace to the soul, and a peaceful soul contributes to a healthier body. There are countless examples where individuals face severe illnesses, yet their deep faith and trust in Allah brought them comfort, strength, and ultimately recovery. This is because faith encourages us to align our actions, thoughts, and hearts with divine guidance. It reminds us that nothing in this world is permanent, that every trial has an expiration, and that divine murk, why, is limitless. Trust in Allah also empowers us to act wisely. Faith does not mean that we abandon medical care or ignore practical steps towards healing. Rather, it provides the clarity and strength to seek the best remedies while maintaining the understanding that ultimate recovery is in Allah's hands. When faith guides our actions, we approach treatment with gratitude, patience, and hope instead of fear and frustration. We follow the prescribed methods, take the necessary precautions, and make lifestyle choices that promote well-being, all while recognizing that the true outcome rests with Allah. This balance between effort and reliance is what makes faith transformative in the process of healing. Prayer is one of the most direct expressions of faith and trust in Allah. Through sincere prayer, we communicate our needs, our fears, and our hopes to the One who knows us better than we know ourselves. Prayer is a declaration that we are turning to the ultimate healer, acknowledging that human remedies have limits and that divine intervention holds the true power to restore health. When we pray with full belief, every word, every intention, and every plea becomes a channel through which healing flows. This is not just a spiritual exercise, it has real impact on our psychological and emotional state, reducing stress, instilling calmness, and creating an environment in which the body can respond positively. Faith magnifies the effect of prayer, because it is faith that turns words into conviction, conviction into hope, and hope into healing energy that penetrates every part of our being. Another aspect of faith in healing is the recognition that patience is intertwined with trust. Sometimes Allah allows illness to remain for a time to teach us lessons, to increase our resilience, or to draw us closer to Him. Faith assures us that this period is temporary and purposeful, and trust allows us to endure it without despair. This patience is not passive waiting. It is an active state of mindfulness, gratitude, and continuous remembrance of Allah. It is the understanding that healing can occur at any moment and that the delay does not indicate absence of mercy. Faith gives us the strength to persevere, and trust ensures that our hearts remain steady while waiting for the manifestation of healing. Faith also encourages a holistic approach to wellness. True healing encompasses not just the physical body, but the mind and the soul. When we trust Allah, we are reminded to care for ourselves in every dimension. We seek mental clarity, emotional balance, and spiritual nourishment, knowing that a heart aligned with divine guidance will support the body's natural capacity to heal. Faith cultivates hope, reduces anxiety, and fosters resilience, all of which contribute to recovery. Individuals who maintain strong faith often exhibit faster recovery rates and better coping mechanisms because their entire being is harmonized with the source of life and mercy. Ultimately, believing in Allah's ability to heal allows us to confront illness with courage rather than fear. Faith transforms helplessness into empowerment, despair into hope, and suffering into a pathway for spiritual growth. It teaches us that while we may not control the illness, we can control our response, our perspective, and our reliance on the one who has the ultimate power to restore health. By embracing faith and trust fully, we open ourselves to the possibility of miracles, to healing that may occur in a second, and to peace that surpasses understanding, creating a profound transformation in body, mind, and soul. Sincere prayer has the power to bring instant relief, and it is one of the most profound tools available to a believer in times of illness or distress. Prayer is more than just words. Spoken aloud or quietly in the heart, it is an expression of complete submission, trust, and hope in the mercy of Allah. When a person prays sincerely, they are acknowledging that there is a power far greater than themselves, a power that knows all things, sees all things, and has the ability to heal, restore, and transform. Sincerity is the key element here, because it is the sincerity of the heart that touches the divine, not merely the recitation of phrases or the act of raising hands. True prayer is rooted in humility, awareness, and an unwavering belief that Allah listens and responds in the best way for the one who seeks Him. When we pray sincerely for healing, we are not just asking for relief from physical illness, we are asking for peace of mind, clarity of thought, and restoration of the soul. Illness often affects more than the body. It can create fear, anxiety, and despair. Sincere prayer addresses these deeper needs, nurturing hope and creating a sense of inner calm that is essential for overall well-being. The act of turning to Allah in prayer reminds the believer that they are never alone, that every struggle is seen, and that every plea is heard. This reassurance can be transformative, for it provides comfort in moments when human solutions may appear limited or insufficient. Prayer also strengthens the connection between the believer and Allah, creating a bond that carries power beyond what is visible. This connection generates a sense of spiritual energy that can influence physical health. When the heart is aligned with the one who has ultimate control over life and death, the body and mind respond positively. Stress is reduced, hope is restored, and a sense of purpose is renewed. This is why sincere prayer can bring relief almost instantly, even if the outward circumstances have not yet changed. It is the faith behind the prayer that activates its pot, Enshul, making it a powerful instrument for healing and restoration. Another essential aspect of sincere prayer is trust in Allah's wisdom. Sometimes the relief we seek may not appear in the form we expect or at the time we desire. Sincere prayer does not insist on immediate answers in our terms. It places the outcome entirely in Allah's hands, while affirming our belief that whatever occurs is ultimately for our benefit. This trust allows us to remain patient and resilient, understanding that true healing may include lessons, growth, and spiritual refinement. By surrendering the timing and method of healing to Allah, the believer opens themselves to possibilities beyond human comprehension. And this openness can lead to sudden, even instantaneous relief that surpasses all expectations. Sincere prayer also requires focus and concentration, removing distractions that can weaken its impact. The believer must be present in the moment, fully aware of their dependence on Allah, and completely honest in their intentions. This focused state allows the heart to channel its energy directly toward the source of mercy and power. The words spoken in prayer carry meaning because the heart invests them with faith, urgency, and hope. Without sincerity, prayer can become routine or mechanical, and its transformative potential is diminished. But when the believer prays with full awareness and intention, the power of that prayer becomes palpable, and the effects can manifest in remarkable ways. In addition, sincere prayer encourages perseverance. It teaches the believer not to give up when relief seems delayed or when illness persists. Prayer becomes a continuous dialogue, a relationship in which the believer expresses their fears, their hopes, and their gratitude. Each prayer builds upon the last, strengthening faith, reinforcing trust, and nurturing resilience. This persistence is a RM of spiritual discipline that prepares the heart to receive healing, whether it arrives gradually or suddenly. It is the ongoing commitment to seeking Allah's help that enhances the likelihood of experiencing relief in a meaningful and profound way. Moreover, sincere prayer is not limited to personal needs alone. It can also include supplication for others. When we pray for the healing of others, we cultivate compassion, humility, and a sense of shared humanity. This outward focus reinforces the sincerity of our own prayers and aligns our intentions with the values of mercy, kindness, and empathy. By connecting our requests with the well-being of others, we create an environment in which healing is amplified as the heart is purified and the spirit is strengthened through selflessness. Faith, sincerity, and persistence in prayer are reinforced by remembrance and gratitude. A heart that acknowledges the blessings it already possesses is more receptive to divine mercy. When we pray with awareness of past favors and current blessings, we invite Allah's continued support and intervention. Gratitude acts as a catalyst, enhancing the effectiveness of our supplications, while hope sustains our belief that healing is within reach. This combination of sincerity, gratitude, and hope transforms prayer into a dynamic force capable of addressing physical, emotional, and spiritual ailments. Finally, the power of sincere prayer lies not only in its potential to change circumstances, but also in its ability to transform the one who prays. Through prayer, the believer gains patience, resilience, humility, and a deeper sense of trust in Allah's plan. These qualities in turn support healing by creating a mental and spiritual environment conducive to restoration. The body and soul respond to the harmony created by sincere prayer, allowing relief to manifest sometimes in a moment, sometimes gradually, but always in accordance with divine wisdom, reinforcing the principle that sincere prayer has the power to bring instant relief. Healing encompasses body, mind, and soul, and true recovery cannot be achieved if any one of these aspects is neglected. Many people focus solely on the physical dimension of illness, believing that medicine, treatments, or therapies are sufficient to restore health. While these are certainly important and are blessings from Allah, they address only part of the picture. True healing begins when the body, mind, and soul are in harmony, each supporting the other, and when all are aligned with the divine guidance and mercy of Allah. A healthy body cannot function optimally if the mind is burdened with anxiety or if the soul is weighed down by despair. Likewise, the mind cannot thrive if the body is weak or if the spirit lacks connection to the source of life. The body is often the most obvious aspect of healing. Physical ailments can cause pain, discomfort, and limitation, and addressing them is necessary for overall wellness. Proper nutrition, exercise, rest, and medical treatment all play crucial roles in restoring bodily health. However, the effectiveness of these interventions can be enhanced tremendously when the mind and soul are also nurtured. Stress, worry, and negative emotions can weaken the immune system, slow down recovery, and even exacerbate symptoms. Therefore, a holistic approach to healing requires caring for the mind and soul alongside the body. The mind is a powerful mediator between body and soul, and it has a significant impact on our overall health. Thoughts, beliefs, and emotions influence the functioning of the body in ways that are sometimes subtle and sometimes profound. Anxiety, fear, and pessimism create tension, disrupt sleep, and alter hormonal balance, all of which can hinder recovery. On the other, a positive mindset grounded in faith and hope can strengthen resilience, promote restorative processes, and even aid in pain management. Practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and reflection help calm the mind, reduce stress, and allow the individual to approach healing with clarity and focus. A mind that is peaceful and confident supports the body's natural ability to recover and the soul's capacity to remain connected to Allah. The soul, the innermost aspect of our being, is often overlooked when we speak of healing, yet it is the foundation upon which true wellness is built. The soul thrives when it is connected to its Creator, nourished by faith, prayer, and remembrance of Allah. Spiritual wellness provides the individual with purpose, strength, and peace, even in the midst of illness. When the soul is neglected, even the strongest body and sharpest mind cannot experience complete healing. Conversely, when the soul is nurtured, it sends signals of calm and balance throughout the body and mind, creating conditions where recovery is possible and even accelerated. Faith in Allah's mercy, trust in His plan, and sincere supplication bring a sense of comfort and reassurance that cannot be matched by worldly interventions alone. Healing across body, mind, and soul also requires balance. Too much focus on one aspect while neglecting the others can create disharmony. For example, a person may undergo numerous medical treatments yet remain stressed and anxious, which can impede recovery. Similarly, someone may engage in extensive spiritual practices but ignore their physical health, leading to preventable complications. True healing involves a holistic approach that addresses each dimension simultaneously, nourishing the body through proper care, strengthening the mind through reflection and positive thinking, and uplifting the soul through prayer, gratitude, and TR. Trust in Allah creates a synergy that allows the individual to experience comprehensive wellness. An essential component of this integrated healing is mindfulness of the interconnectedness of body, mind, and soul. Every action we take affects multiple dimensions of our being. A kind word, a moment of gratitude, or an act of charity can uplift the soul, calm the mind, and even improve physical health through the reduction of stress. Conversely, neglecting one area can create imbalances that manifest in illness or discomfort. Understanding this interdependence encourages individuals to take a holistic approach to their health, integrating spiritual practices, mental wellness strategies, and physical care into a single cohesive plan. Faith plays a central role in this holistic healing. Belief in Allah's power to heal, trust in His wisdom, and reliance on His mercy strengthen the mind, bring peace to the soul, and promote resilience in the body. When the heart is anchored in faith, the mind gains clarity, and the body responds more positively to treatment and care. Prayer, remembrance, and gratitude create an inner environment of calm and trust that supports overall healing. This integration of spiritual, mental, and physical efforts amplifies the potential for recovery, creating conditions where healing can occur more rapidly and effectively than if one were to focus solely on the body. Another important aspect is the acknowledgement of emotional well-being as part of the mind's role in healing. Emotions are powerful signals that can either support recovery or hinder it. Fear, anger, and resentment weigh heavily on the system, while hope, joy, and patience contribute to resilience. Processing emotions, seeking support when necessary, and maintaining a positive outlook are all ways to strengthen the mind and, in turn, support both the body and soul. Emotional health ensures the individual remains engaged with life, motivated to adhere to treatments, and confident in the possibility of recovery. Finally, healing that encompasses body, mind, and soul is not only about alleviating illness, but also about growth, learning, and transformation. Illness often teaches patience, humility, gratitude, and reliance on Allah. By attending to each dimension of our being, we not only restore what has been lost, but also strengthen the foundations of our life for future challenges. True wellness emerges when we care for ourselves in a balanced, holistic manner, integrating the care of the body, the nurturing of the mind, and the upliftment of the soul, creating a harmonious state in which healing is complete. Patience, awareness, and trust are essential in seeking healing, and these qualities form the foundation upon which true recovery is built. When faced with illness, many people feel overwhelmed, anxious, or desperate, seeking immediate solutions without considering the deeper dimensions of healing. While medicine, therapy, and practical interventions are necessary and beneficial, they alone cannot guarantee complete restoration. Healing is a holistic process that requires not only physical treatment, but also spiritual, emotional, and mental alignment. Patience allows us to endure trials without despair. Awareness helps us recognize the blessings and guidance surrounding us, and trust places the outcome in the hands of the most merciful. Together, these three qualities create a powerful framework for seeking and experiencing healing. Patience is perhaps the most challenging yet transformative quality in the journey toward recovery. Illness often tests our limits, both physically and emotionally. It can be frustrating when symptoms persist, when progress seems slow, or when setbacks occur. Yet patience teaches us to endure with dignity and resilience. It reminds us that healing is not always instantaneous and that the process itself can carry profound lessons. By cultivating patience, we train our hearts to remain steady in the face of discomfort, to maintain hope even when relief seems distant, and to recognize that every moment of endurance is noticed by Allah. Patience also allows us to avoid despair, which can worsen both mental and physical health, creating an environment where true healing is more likely to take place. Awareness complements patience by helping us see the bigger picture. Many individuals become so focused on their illness that they fail to recognize the blessings still present in their lives. Awareness allows us to observe the signs of Allah's mercy in our surroundings, in the support of loved ones, and in the moments of strength that we still possess. It helps us understand that every breath, every heartbeat, and every day of life is a gift. By being conscious of these blessings, we cultivate gratitude, which in turn strengthens our spiritual and emotional resilience. Awareness also involves recognizing the tools and opportunities for healing that exist, such as medical treatments, healthy lifestyle choices, and spiritual practices. It enables us to act wisely and intentionally rather than reacting impulsively out of fear or frustration. Trust is the third pillar, and it is the element that unites patience and awareness into a cohesive approach to healing. Trust in Allah means believing that He is the ultimate healer, that He knows the perfect timing and method for our recovery, and that His wisdom surpasses human understanding. When we trust fully, we release our anxiety and surrender the outcome to Him, knowing that whatever transpires is for our ultimate good. This trust does not negate action, rather, it allows us to act with confidence and composure, knowing that our efforts are supported by divine guidance. Trust transforms the way we experience illness, replacing fear with hope, doubt with conviction, and despair with peace. The combination of patience, awareness, and trust also impacts our mental and emotional state, which is closely linked to physical health. Chronic stress, worry, and negative emotions can weaken the immune system, exacerbate symptoms, and slow down recovery. By practicing patience, we reduce the internal tension caused by frustration and fear. Through awareness, we maintain a positive perspective and recognize opportunities for growth and support. With trust, we cultivate a sense of peace that allows the body to respond more effectively to treatment. This triad creates an environment in which healing is not only possible, but is facilitated naturally by the alignment of heart, mind, and body. These qualities also guide us in our spiritual practice. Patience encourages consistent prayer and supplication, even when relief is delayed. Awareness helps us remember Allah's signs, blessings, and mercy in every situation. Trust reinforces our reliance on Him, reminding us that He is always present and always attentive to our needs. Spiritual healing complements physical recovery, providing strength and comfort that cannot be measured by medical tests alone. When the heart is aligned with faith, the body and mind respond in harmony, creating a holistic pathway to wellness. Moreover, patience, awareness, and trust influence the way we interact with others during times of illness. Patience teaches us to remain calm and understanding with caregivers, family members, and friends. Awareness allows us to appreciate the support and kindness we receive, fostering gratitude and positive energy. Trust encourages humility and acceptance, enabling us to receive help without pride or resentment. These interactions create a supportive environment that reigns. Forces healing as emotional and social well-being are critical components of overall health. Practical application of these qualities involves intentional habits and daily practices. Patience can be nurtured through reflection, meditation, and acceptance of the present moment. Awareness can be strengthened by journaling blessings, observing the natural world, and paying attention to the guidance and opportunities around us. Trust can be cultivated by repeating affirmations rooted in faith, engaging in regular prayer, and reflecting on past instances where Allah's mercy brought relief in times of difficulty. Together, these practices create a mindset that is resilient, focused, and spiritually aligned, enhancing both the process and the outcome of healing. Ultimately, healing is not merely about eliminating physical symptoms. It is about achieving balance and harmony in the entire being. Patience, awareness, and trust provide the framework for this holistic approach, enabling the believer to navigate illness with faith, courage, and hope. These qualities empower the individual to endure trials, recognize blessings, and rely on the ultimate source of healing, creating conditions where true wellness can emerge, and flourish. Gratitude and hope are two of the most powerful tools that a believer can possess when seeking healing, whether it is physical, emotional, or spiritual. Often, we underestimate the effect that a grateful heart has on our well-being. When we cultivate gratitude, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what we already have. This simple shift in perspective can open the door to blessings we may have overlooked, including the very healing we desire. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you with our lips. It is about feeling appreciation deep within our hearts. It is recognizing that every breath, every heartbeat, and every moment of life is a gift from Allah. And that in acknowledging these gifts, we align ourselves with the source of all mercy and healing. Hope works hand in hand with gratitude. While gratitude reminds us of the blessings already present, hope draws our eyes forward to the possibilities yet to come. When we are hopeful, we are not resigned to despair or bound by the limitations of our circumstances. Hope instills in us a belief that change is possible, that relief is attainable, and that divine intervention is never out of reach. Hope gives life to our prayers, and when prayers are combined with a hopeful heart, they carry a weight and sincerity that can move the unseen forces of the universe. Hope fuels our faith, and faith is the foundation upon which miracles are built. A grateful and hopeful heart changes the way we experience illness. When a person is consumed by worry, fear, or resentment, the mind and body are under constant stress, which can worsen physical conditions and slow down the healing process. But when we choose gratitude, we counteract negativity with positivity, and our body responds to this shift. Science has shown that mental and emotional states have a direct impact on our physical health. A heart filled with thankfulness produces chemicals in the body that promote calmness, reduce stress, and boost immunity. Similarly, hope triggers the release of endorphins and other hormones that support healing, improve mood, and create resilience. In this way, gratitude and hope are not just spiritual concepts. They are practical, tangible tools that enhance our capacity to heal. Gratitude and hope also deepen our connection with Allah. When we are grateful for what we have, we acknowledge His role in every aspect of our lives. Gratitude is a form of worship, and worship strengthens the bond between the servant and the Creator. The more we express gratitude, the more we open our hearts. Oh, His mercy, and mercy is the source of all healing. Hope complements this by keeping our hearts anchored in the belief that Allah is capable of changing any situation, no matter how dire it seems. Even when faced with severe illness, when doctors have limited options, and when our energy feels depleted, hope reminds us that Allah's power is limitless and His wisdom is beyond human understanding. Practicing gratitude and hope can be simple but transformative. Begin each day by acknowledging at least 3 things you are thankful for. They could be as small as the ability to see, hear, breathe, or as significant as family, shelter, or moments of joy. By focusing on these blessings, you condition your heart to recognize that Allah is constantly providing for you, even in times of difficulty. Alongside this, cultivate hope by affirming to yourself that healing is possible. Speak to your heart with positive affirmations rooted in faith. I trust in Allah's mercy. Relief is coming. My body and soul are capable of restoration. Repeating such affirmations strengthens the mind and aligns it with divine possibility. Another way to nurture gratitude and hope is through prayer and remembrance. When we call upon Allah with a thankful heart, our prayers carry a sincerity that is unmatched. Gratitude in prayer acknowledges past blessings, while hope in prayer expresses trust in future mercy. This combination opens the heart to receive healing in ways that may be instantaneous or gradual, visible or invisible. Often the process of praying itself brings comfort, reduces stress, and brings a sense of peace that supports overall well-being. When gratitude and hope flow through our supplications, they become a bridge between our current state of need and the infinite mercy of Allah. Gratitude also transforms our perspective on suffering. Illness is often seen as a burden, a punish me, NT, or a source of despair, but through the lens of gratitude, it can become an opportunity for growth, reflection, and drawing closer to Allah. By being thankful for the lessons illness teaches us, the patience it cultivates, the humility it instills, and the empathy it inspires, we turn hardship into a source of spiritual healing. Hope allows us to see beyond the difficulty, to trust that relief is near, and to believe that every challenge carries within it a divine purpose. Together, gratitude and hope create a mindset that is resilient, peaceful, and receptive to healing. In addition, gratitude and hope influence the way we interact with others, which can indirectly support our healing. When we express thankfulness to those around us, it strengthens relationships, builds support networks, and fosters positive energy. Being hopeful encourages us to seek help, to remain patient with caregivers, and to encourage others even when they are struggling. These interactions, rooted in gratitude and hope, create a harmonious environment where healing is more likely to flourish. A positive, hopeful, and thankful atmosphere around us contributes to both emotional and physical restoration, making the process of healing smoother and more profound. Ultimately, the combination of gratitude and hope reminds us that healing is not solely in our control, but it is within the control of the one who created us. We do our part by seeking medical help, maintaining healthy habits, and making wise choices, but we supplement these efforts with gratitude for what we already have and hope for what is yet to come. This dual mindset allows us to approach illness with patience, resilience, and unwavering faith, creating conditions for healing that extend far beyond the limitations of the material world.